start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll open up the questions.
Well, I didn't tell our team this before the game, but I really looked at this game as kind of a must-win. And you only play one home game in December. You want to play well in front of your home crowd, and with only one home game, you just don't get a lot of chances to do that. We're not back home until January 3rd, and our last game was 8 days ago, where we held a double-digit lead, but couldn't make some foul shots down the stretch. So for us to be in a similar position at home, yet make those foul shots, it was a good one for us today. This is a team from the American Athletic Conference that we face on the recruiting trails. Obviously, I mean, they're 2.5 hours away, but in my opinion, I felt like this was a must-win game, even in Game 6 of a young season, just because of the reasons that I mentioned. But some keys that really stand out to me today. Jasmine Whitfield, number 23, and Anna Owens, number 3, they had combined for 10 points, and those two kids alone are averaging 50% of the scoring for Cincinnati. So for us to hold them below 20 points below their 30-point combined average was a big key. We had different kids on them throughout the game. Obviously going 21 of 26 and making foul shots down the stretch was a big key as well, compared to their 9 of 11. We had to make those foul shots down the stretch because at the 8-minute mark they had cut it to single digits, and Cincinnati really played us in zone and man, and they played our ball screens 3 different types of ways, and I thought our kids did a really good job adjusting to that. We anticipated that potentially happening, so with a long prep period, we broke it down kind of into segments and did a little bit of prep work against how they would attack our screens defensively, and I thought our kids did a good job responding. But the nail in the coffin, I think, for us was we made a quick change in a press breaker, and Erica Donovan just ran the length of the floor, 94 feet, and Miriam Justinger looked like Aaron Rodgers out there for the Packers and hit her. And that was really brought the crowd to their feet, I felt like, because it was a 4-point play. It was an intentional foul after the made layup, but it really kind of took the air out of the potential comeback at the, I think, 1:44, almost 2-minute mark in the second half. So we had to make some free throws down the stretch after that, but those keys were stuck out to me as the most important.
You mentioned it as kind of a must-win. Was it also a little bit of a must-win just to get back on the winning side of the ledger?
Well, like I said, I didn't tell our team it was a must-win, but I think for my sanity's sake, it was a must-win game. And for the people that were here, our biggest supporters, our biggest fans, that came to this game. A lot of people circled this one early on in the season when the schedule came out, and having an afternoon game on a Sunday, there's just no other better place to be in December.
Can you talk a little bit about the offensive start to the second half, and in your eyes, the things that kind of got you guys rolling?
Well, ironically, I thought we made shots, and it's when you look at the stat sheet, you would think that I'm crazy for saying that, but we made a little bit more shots than the first half. For us to shoot so poorly the first half and still had a lead going into halftime, I told the team just to relax at halftime, and we didn't make really any adjustments offensively than what we're doing, other than trying to say, hey, when that first one goes, it's going to be a deluge. And everyone's going to start hitting. And I thought we were able to get Miriam and Erica going, attacking. But this is the first game out of 6 that I felt like we got to the line and got into the early bonus about the 11-minute mark. And we haven't been able to do that. And that helped get going 21 of 26. If we don't go to the line near as much, and then it becomes a half-court slugfest between the two teams. Because we were not doing a good job rebounding, and they were starting to gain a little bit momentum with some offensive rebound putbacks. And obviously, we're the diminutive team in size compared to Cincinnati, but we got some rebounds at the end we needed to.
Was that if you're looking at the stat sheet, was that the biggest negative in your eyes, the 17 offensive rebounds by UC?
Well, to be honest, I kind of anticipated that they would get a lot on the glass, and they out-rebounded us only by 4 total. And like I said, we were the smaller team throughout the game. We went with kind of an extra ball handling post were able to get some easy putbacks because we were a little bit smaller guarding their 6'3" center and their backup as well. But through and through, like our number one goal going into the game, I thought our teams knew what Cincinnati was going to run, and they were prepared and knew we could get stops. But the big question mark was, could we one and done them? Could we limit them to second chance points in the first half? And I thought we did that. And thank goodness we had that lead because they started to chip away. And like I said, cut it to single digits at about that 8-minute media in the second timeout, or second half.
When you talk also a little bit defensively, it looked like when you went to the zone late in the first half, that did cause them some problems, or at least slowed them. Or
Yeah, it definitely controlled the tempo. That's something we've been practicing a little bit more. We thought we may roll it out today, but we weren't sure how much we would use it. And I thought our kids did a good job of controlling the tempo and limiting them to one shot. And it limited, I feel like, Cincinnati's playbook with what they were going to run against our zone, where if we were still in man, they have a large playbook. And
For you guys, I mean, there's been times, you talked about limited to 2 scores to 10 points. I mean, you guys have done that on numerous occasions this year. I mean, just talk about the ability to match up certain players against key opponents.
I think we've done a really good job as a team for the majority of the game, probably like 25 to 27 minutes, and we'll still have some lapses defensively on certain plays that we know, but when you look at our stats going into this game, I think we're giving up 53 points and doing a good job defensively, but I mean, it depends on what cliche you want to believe. Defense wins championships, or you got to score to win. And we're holding people, but we're just not putting up enough points on the board to reward ourselves for that defensive effort. So today, I felt like we kind of had that perfect balance, and it was a better symbiosis between those two stats.
You talked about the first half, Coach, or actually going 1 for 14 from three-point range. What do you say to your shooters when they're struggling through something like that?
That's a good question, Clint, because we have done a little bit of everything. They come in and shot extra on their own. We have talked about career stats versus current stats, and that you're a better shooter than what you're doing right now. We've tried to create pressure situations in practice. We've tried to count makes and misses, and now with the age of this team, we've got to do something different. We've got to, it's not a good try mentality because we've set the bar very high with what we want to do offensively, but we're still giving them the freedom to shoot. I have no idea when the lid's going to come off, but I'm confident it is. So we still, as a coaching staff, have to give this team confidence throughout the game. And I'll give you an example. I think Deborah may have had a little bit too much confidence when she took that shot in the corner. If it goes in, we're up double digits, but if it rims out, they've got momentum because they hit a three-pointer off of a foul and made that foul shot. So she was going for the gold. I got to give her credit for that, but it's not what we wanted at that time. But she's got that confidence to shoot it. So I've got to do a better job of walking the line and giving them confidence and putting them in a position where they still can get an open shot as opposed to a contested shot, so they can get it. But we'll need to shoot better in upcoming games in order to be successful.
You talked about being the diminutive team out there today. Talk a little bit about Abby's play under the basket today. It seemed like she was really battling.
Abby's doing a good job, and as you can tell, Abby's got that shoulder harness the size of Texas. She's wearing it, and she's not 100%, but she battled a big time for us. Almost had a double-double. Could have played her probably a little bit more minutes, but with their pressure, we added another ball-handling post player. But she's working extremely hard. Her growth from last year to this year, everyone in the stands can tell. But really happy for her progress, and I know that she'll continue to make progress throughout the season and throughout the rest of her career.
Is that just a tweak? That'll get better?
Yes.
Okay, something she played with.
Yeah, she got deemed pretty good when we were out in California.
Any pressure having your old boss in the house still?
I think there's probably more pressure having my dad in the house tonight. Because I've got let's put it this way, I'll have to, now that we won, we'll probably go dinner out. Had we lost, I probably would be going to Kroger's and making dinner. So I'm excited that we'll have probably a dinner out as a family.
Anything else for Coach?